Hello, welcome to my video. This little video is going to take a Fender Rumble 15 bass amp and put it on battery so you can take it out and play pretty much anywhere. This is where we're starting. If you don't recognize this schematic about a basic power supply, maybe this project could be a little beyond you. But if you know anything about it, go for it. This is the schematic of the very basic representation of the power supply with the batteries for the Fender Rumble 15. I don't know why I said 16 here, that's wrong. So as you can see, we have a standard transformer which normally would feed the bridge rectifier and produce about plus or minus 20 volts out here to the circuit, and we've added a battery and a buck converter to each side, to the plus and the minus side, positive and negative, through these switches, the double pole, double throw switch. Now this is simply a proof of concept. I put this together so that we could see whether or not these batteries, these lithium-ion batteries, which we can now buy for under $40 Canadian each, along with the buck converters to take it from 12 volts to about 19 or 20 volts, would actually work for long enough to make the amplifier useful. And it has done that. So I'm very happy that the proof of concept is valid, and I've had it working in small rooms now at normal volume for 4 or 5 hours at a time with normal bass playing, just about maybe 10 songs an hour or something like that. So it could be done other ways. We could be feeding the rails through steering diodes and not having to have the switches at all. But I wanted to provide a system that other people could do without doing any soldering or removal of any parts on the circuit board. And if we go into diodes right here and here directly from the buck converters, then we have to do some surgery on the amplifier's main circuit board. I wanted to avoid that, but it's entirely possible, and I might make the next one that way. But for now, using the double pole, double throw switch, this works fine. And the batteries have to be recharged separately, and which might require them to be unplugged from the buck converter, so as not to confuse the charging system. That's a small price to pay for this. It only takes about maybe 2 hours to recharge a battery after using it for 4 or 5 hours. I'm very happy with that. So I'm hoping that if you like to do this, you can follow right along and make the required cuts in the transformer leads, connect them to the right places on your double pole, double throw switch, and you'll have a working power supply that'll last you for a long time. This is a picture of the buck converter itself. It takes the input of 12 volts and converts it up to about 19 or whatever you want to set. If 19 works for you, that's great. These are the batteries, and this shows European power supply plug. You can buy them obviously with North American types, and the cost right now, as of April 2022, I think those rechargeables are down to about $32 Canadian now. What I started out with is to just remove the transformer, park it out of the way, keep it close, and cut the leads that were going through that plug right to the circuit board and the rectifier. And those ones now are going to the switch on the front. This was a switch I had in my junk box, so I cut an extra hole in the front, which is a double pull, double throw switch that'll just drop in there. And one side is for power from the mains, the other side is battery power. Here's the view on the inside of the cabinet. I've mounted the buck converters through their battery connections and the connectors at the top there, which is going to go to the switch. And as you can see, I've tested them with the batteries on, and that looks like it's going to be plus or minus 19, which should total out to 38 volts across both rails. Here's the transformer put back in its place, soldered to the switch, and also the input from the buck converters soldering through those connectors to the switch. Here's the connector on the back of the back panel for the battery plugins, and I added a new line cord plug. And here are the batteries taped in place. They're just double-sided tape stuck on, and the connectors that would go to the charger or plugging into those two jacks on the back. So here we are, completed, and I've got a line cord on the back if I need it, if the batteries ever do go dead. But I can take this outside and sit in the yard with some acoustic players and have a good time. So I hope you can do one of these for yourself. Let me know if you do.